Let's start off with the first one that's coming in from Sanjay, who's writing in from Goa. He's confused between the Alpha variant on the Baleno petrol and the Sigma variant on its stablemate, the S-Cross. The on-road price on the Baleno is of course a little bit lower than the S-Cross, but it's confused between the two. It doesn't know which one to get. Well, it's quite simple in a sense, Sanjay, because the S-Cross will be the better car in terms of a little bit more space, a little better practicality with its boot, and also, of course, not to forget, a slightly better build quality. So it's a little more premium in every sense of the word when it comes to just how the car has been built and what it represents. That having been said, the Sigma variant misses a few of the features that you actually find on the Alpha variant on the Baleno. So if some of those creature comforts matter to you, steering mounted controls, the reverse camera and things like that, that you get as standard on the Baleno, overall it ends up being a better package. So if it's primarily for city driving that you're looking at buying this car, go with the Baleno. But if you have a lot of extensive highway driving planned, the S-Cross is the better bet. Next question is from Giridhar, who's writing from Chennai. He wants to upgrade to a better hatchback from the Alto he's been driving for several years now. 6 years, in fact, he's owned that car. Fuel efficiency, low cost of ownership and driving comfort are the priorities for you. You say, Giridhar, they are the priorities for most people, I can assure you. And the cars you're considering, the Hyundai Grand i10 and the Swift VXI. Well, the Grand i10 is a little bit better in the sense that it edges the Swift on certain parameters, and it is the car that won our battle as well. And so between those two, the Grand i10 is my pick. But having said that, if very sporty driving is something that you're looking for, then the Swift still does have a little bit of that extra sporty feel that the Grand i10 does not. And you know, you have to also consider the new Ford Figo. That's my recommendation or advice to you. The car comes really well built, it's very stylish to look at, it's roomy, and it has lots of features. And a lot of the safety features are standard on the Figo. They may not necessarily be standard on some of the variants of these other two cars. So you should look at the entire package and then decide what works for you. Having said that, the Figo is something you shouldn't ignore. Our next query is from Pune, and it's Samir, who wants to know if it's worth spending the extra money for an automatic transmission and what are the things to consider. How much does fuel efficiency get affected? A lot of manufacturers are now giving the same mileage for both manual and automatic. Well, it all depends on which automatic transmission you're looking at, Samir, and which model. In every case, there will be a variance, and that's simply because in some cases it's an AMT system, that's the automated manual transmission. In some cases, it's a CVT, which is always going to be more fuel efficient than the manual in most cases. And then you could just have a regular automatic transmission, which could be a really new and modern system like a 6-speed or a really archaic 4-speed. So it comes down to which car, which model, and which kind of automatic transmission. On the whole, automatics have gotten much better than they used to be. The price differences have come down too. And to your question, does it make sense to spend the extra money? Well, here's where it comes, or here's the point that you really have to consider for yourself. Pune, we do know that the city has a lot of really bad bumper-to-bumper traffic. It's haphazard. It's not the best managed traffic in the country for sure. And given that kind of convenience that comes with having an automatic car, to me, it outweighs the manual hands down. So yes, from a personal comfort point of view or from just the convenience of it, I think it is worth spending that extra money, especially if there's lots of you in the family who will be using this car. If it is going to be primarily chauffeur driven, then you might want to reconsider that, because a lot of chauffeurs or drivers, they actually like having a manual because they're more used to it. So it comes back to whether or not that driver likes the idea of an automatic or not. Let's not be difficult and saying, well, they don't need to have the comfort. It does help when it comes to fatigue as well. So you have to consider that factor. But if it's for your personal use and you're going to be driving it primarily yourself, I think it outweighs everything else. Make sure that it's not a 4-speed or an antiquated gearbox simply for the convenience involved.